So sometimes, you just got to take a moment to breathe. And I've been learning to do that a lot lately. It's been a month since my surgery. And about that, I've been in this sling for about a month. And it's a process, It is a process. And I just started physical therapy. I have a doctor's appointment and a therapy appointment tomorrow. So hopefully at this appointment I will be able to be out of this cast and, really start my therapy like I'm supposed to. Because me being in the cast, there wasn't a lot that I can do with the therapist. But my first day back, because I've been dealing with this therapist, this is my third time going to these therapy people. So they know me very well. I've been going since January, okay? I've been dealing with my shoulder. I got a tear in my shoulder from a car accident. And so I've been dealing with this all year. But I was joking with my therapist because we have a love-hate relationship. That's why therapist is the rapist when you spell it out, because therapy is painful. It hurts, okay? Because the only way to heal something is to, you know what I'm saying? Like my shoulder being in the sling, it's been in this position for a long time. So me having to straighten it out and go in positions that, I haven't been in a while, it hurts. So she got to stretch my arm out and move my arm in different ways and stuff. And, I'm like, ugh. She was like, yeah, I know you were so excited to come see me. I was like, I love you though, but, oh, you be hurting me. And I hear that all the time as a soul therapist. Like, my job is to make you see yourself, make you wake up to these things that you're avoiding, that you need to heal from, that you don't want to face, and to help you, see the light in the darkness. So, and also, it hurts, but it's like a feel-good hurt. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when she's stretching my arm out, it's like, oh, it hurts, but it felt good at the same time because it was like a good stretch, but it hurt. So that's what healing is, man. And I've been learning to really appreciate the process. In this last month, I had no choice but to sit down and deal with myself, And I'm kind of in my feelings because, like, lately, spirit and my ancestors have been making me deal with issues with my heart. And, that can get pretty rough. And just this morning, like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I had a deep conversation with myself, and I forgave the man that scammed me on my house. I harbored a lot of negative emotions because how can you know what I'm saying? This man was calling me every day pretty much and like talking to me because I told him my situation, of course. And he lied to me and he was like, yeah, my wife and I we're trying to rent out this house and blah blah blah. And me being a single mother and going through the situation I was going through, I was excited. I jumped on it. I thought it was an opportunity. So he's acted like he was my friend, calling me, making sure, hey, yeah, just checking sure, oh, that needs to be fixed, okay, no worry, this weekend I'm gonna send so-and-so down, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I realized, when I got the letter in the mail, I was in there for like a good month or whatever, and so I got a letter in the mail saying, yeah, you're not supposed to be in this house, you got a week to get out. And I was like, what the man, that was crazy. So I called the dude and I was like, how could you scam me like this? And he was trying to act like it. Well, no. I'm going through a divorce and my wife did it, all the way up to the end. Like, he never admitted that it was a scam. He answered the phone every time. And I cussed him out. Like, I gave you all of my money. I need my money back. I told you my situation. I'm a single mom. Blah, blah, blah. I was so hurt and angry. Like, how could How could anybody? Like, that was a new evil that I never experienced. You know what I'm saying? But this morning I had a real deep conversation with myself, and it was like, in the bird's eye view, like looking above, in a spiritual thing, like we all have roles to play. I wasn't meant to be in that house. And like I said before, like, I did end up getting a better house. And if things didn't play out the way that it did, I would have never experienced the experiences that I have. I didn't have it in me thinking that I would be able to get a 2-story house. I didn't think that I had that ability. And I proved myself wrong. And I met a lot of people. My kids had great experiences. The area we was in, you know what I'm saying? I experienced a lot. I met people who introduced new things to me, new people to me that I made some strong connections through, so it was like that man played a role in my life, and I learned not to take it so personal, because he didn't know me from a can of paint. You know what I'm saying? He was just doing something, trying to get by himself. You know what I'm saying? It's not right, of course. No, you shouldn't be out here scamming people for money or whatever. But for me to judge this man, I don't know him either. I don't know his situation. I don't know what he's been through in life and how he was raised. He sounded like he was, not from America. So who knows what he was going through and how desperate he was for money, to have to scam me, the single mom, trying to make it. It's a dog eat dog world, and I understand that. So in the overall things, like, he played a role in my life that he was meant to play. So I was able to forgive him and kind of thanked him, because that's a hard role to play, because I can only imagine the guilt and the pain. I mean, he might not feel it, but the soul, because I could hear it in his voice. That's what I'm about to cry. I believe he felt bad. He did feel bad, and a little bit. But I know, because I've done people wrong. I've done things that I'm not too proud of in my life, but when you operating from a place of pain and hurt, it's very, very easy to cast aside your feelings, to not care about. And when you don't care about your own feelings, you don't care about nobody else's feelings. You're just trying to satisfy that ego. You're just trying to get a quick fix. You're just trying to really, you hurting. You know what I'm saying? You trying to make that pain go away. You don't care who because you hurting. You doing what you know. So I understand. Now, again, just because I understand people and things that they may do to cause harm and pain to other people doesn't make it right. But who am I to judge? You know what I'm saying? I'm walking my own path and learning my own lessons, and I'm operating from my understanding. Now that I have that understanding, I have a responsibility. Like they say, with great power comes great responsibility. So I know inside of myself this, and that's why I have the ability to, like, not take things so personally when I feel like I'm still healing now. I'm still healing. I still have, battles inside of me. If somebody cuts me off the wrong way while I'm driving, I might cuss them out real quick. But, my higher self, like Michaela, it's not personal or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm learning. I'm working on it. I'm working on myself. And pretty much these last couple weeks, really, that's all I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So, to run it back, the first week that I got out the hospital or whatever, after my surgery, it's kind of a blur. I was really drugged up. I slept the whole week. Like, the only thing I remember, the person I was staying with took real good care of me, and they're vegan. So they was cooking me some really good vegan meals, and I was so thankful, man. And it's funny because I've been wanting to learn, like, alternative, like, vegan foods, and back up off the meat, because there's a lot of hormones and stuff And I know, like, what those hormones, how it was affecting my body. But it's like, when you used to routine, you're used to eating certain things, it's hard. It's very, very hard to break out of the everyday routines. You got to start slow. So I'm really thankful, and I see the light in my situation, and really just being taken out of everything that I was going through, being forced to like sit down and reevaluate my whole life. So that first week I was introduced to vegan meals and teas, and like really learning how I need to operate moving forward. So that next week, you know, I really couldn't do much, but I wasn't sleeping all day, so I was really just like watching a lot of documentaries, and still sleeping a lot. I was still heavily medicated, but not as much. But I couldn't do nothing. I only had one arm, and I was in a lot of pain. The first week I was connected to this ice machine, and I couldn't move from the machine, so I kind of was just laid out or whatever. But then the next week, I could move a little bit more, at least go to the bathroom without having to unplug from a machine or whatever. And sorry. Anyways, so just learning about the foods and different things, way to help my body or whatever, and kind of preparing for the next part of my journey, which was and is living in my car. So, I had 2 weeks staying with somebody. I was blessed for that, because it would have been very hard coming out of surgery being in my car. Like, I don't know if I would have been able to survive that. But so yeah, after that second week, I was able to mentally prepare myself for that. And you really can't you really can't prepare yourself for living in your car or being homeless or whatever. But that's when I changed my whole thought process of what being homeless is, because like I said, I want to be a nomad. Like, I don't want another house. I don't want another apartment. I want to travel. I want to get an RV, and I want to go to like sacred sites and learn about my ancestry. And that's a whole nother live that I'm gonna have to do about my ancestry. That's why I have Un Dia de Cada Vez. I believe that's Portuguese. When I was a child, my father told me that I was Portuguese or had Portuguese in me. Black, white, Cape Verdean, Portuguese, Native American, specifically Cherokee and Navajo. So I don't know nothing about my ancestry. You know what I'm saying? So I am on a mission. I'm about to go to these Native American sites and connect with some things and find out where I come from. And that's very deep for me. But I'm sorry, my anxiety is kind of kicking up a little bit. It was kind of hard to press play. I mean, go live. Y'all know I'm very open about that. I've been going through a lot. I have been going through a lot, learning to be more resourceful, living out my car. But a whole new world has opened up, man. There's a whole community of car lifers. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. Like, for example, this is kind of hard to talk about, because I know that there's a lot of judgmental people out there, and oh, you're homeless, oh, you don't wash, you don't do this, you don't do that. Like, come on now, like it's crazy. Yes, I wash. Now, no, I can't like take a bath every day like if I was in a house, but that's where being resourceful comes in. I learned that witch hazel takes the dirt and oil and bacteria off of your skin. So I know how to keep clean. I do wash myself every day. I do cleanse and clean myself every day. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. I wash my I you know, I keep my clothes clean. I clean my car out. I'm not eating the same types of foods that make your body sweat toxins as much. I'm eating more fruits and vegetables. I don't eat meat as much as I was before. You know what I'm saying? And especially with having like my shoulder right here is still healing. It's kind of open. I gotta know how to clean the wound. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that tea tree oil is an antibacterial, and essential oils like lemon oil or whatever, like I'm learning these things. And that's also important because I'm gonna be camping, I'm gonna be fishing, I'm gonna be boating. Like that's the plan that I have for my life, you know? And I'm very excited to start living. I've never felt more alive and more in tune with myself in this last month, because it's like any other time where I was displaced, living in hotels, blah blah, my only focus was to hustle and to get money and find work, and you know what I'm saying. But now that I gotta sit down and I can't work, it's like, all right, I can't worry about work. I can't worry about certain things. I don't have to worry about a light bill or a phone bill, or you know what I'm saying. I'm blessed and thankful that I have for the help that I do have. Anyways, there's purpose, man. That's really my message. Like anything that we go through in life, there's a purpose behind it. And the hard lesson is it's you. Whatever you're going through, you can blame your mom or your daddy, you know, your brother, your sister, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever. No, at the end of the day, it's you, your choices, your decisions, your whatever that you did to make yourself go through whatever. No, God's not punishing you. The devil's not having fun with your life, making you do things. You had choices that you made that got you where you got you. Like, for example, me, my house situation, you know, that led up to this. Like, yeah, I got into a car accident, you know, and that put me out of work and blah blah blah. But also I was trying to build with people who I kind of knew I shouldn't have been dealing with, you know, trying to give people chances that had shown me time and time again that they weren't for me, or that they were selfish people. You know, one of my ex-best friends whatever, you know, I knew the type of person that he was because he didn't hide it from me. And me being naive and, I don't know, guess thinking that I was special, like, he would talk to me about his other friends behind their back, you know, and I would brush it off like, you know, like, yeah, that ain't right, he doing that, but I ain't talking about him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not entertaining. Like, I would just let him vent, you know? But deep down, I knew the way that he was dogging them or whatever, talking about them, I made excuses for it. You know, oh, he's just upset right now, or he whatever. Because on the flip side, he was a very nice, seemingly genuine person. Because the same person, when he was mad at them and dog them out, he would give his last to, you know? So it's hard sometimes, being a judge of character of people, especially when you care about them, especially when you've got history with these people, you know what I'm saying? But all my relationships, friendships, like, I have learned from people. So I try not to judge. There's purpose behind everything that we go through in life. Because this life is a game, man. And I'm learning that more and more every day. Telling you. Because, again, the more that I walk in my purpose, the more things come into me like, yeah, Michaela, you know you need to do this. You know you need to do that. People finding me and making me see myself. For example, I have been connecting with a lot of people who have been coming to me to help them connect with loved ones that have passed. I know I have the ability to connect with people from the other side. That is a gift. I know I have the ability to help people connect to the other side themselves. That is a gift. But that is something that I kind of shy away from because it's taboo, and a lot of people are afraid of it. A lot of people are afraid of me, when I start talking about these things. So for the last couple of years, I have not been putting myself out there with these gifts. But the way that I have been able to move people recently has been overwhelming. And it would be selfish of me to not use these gifts that I have been given, not talk about them, not embrace them. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm very emotional. I've been looking at myself a lot lately. I've been crying a lot. And that's another thing. I used to be very hard on myself because I am a very sensitive person. I cry about everything. But when you think about the reality of it, like, tears hold emotion. Like, our bodies are not physical. Our bodies are... Everything is vibration, So when I cry, I'm literally releasing the vibration of fear out of my body. So I understand that I am transmuting the pain that's in my body. Our bodies literally hold the trauma from experiences and emotions and different things like that, because our thoughts, our feelings, our everything is vibration. I hope I'm not all over the place. But, if I am, then maybe you need to swim a little faster. I can teach you. But swim with me, man. This world is not what we have been taught for it to be. It's really not. And I am waking up to that every day. The more that I explore this world, I'm finding ancient sites right in my backyard that I didn't know. I've been living in Charleston for 20 years and didn't know that there was an ancient site literally right there, 10 minutes away from where I grew up, and ancient sites that might have to do with my ancestors. Because if I am Cherokee, that means my ancestors were walking these lands. My ancestors was right here. And it's like, it's mind-blowing when you really start paying attention to the world and the things that they don't teach you in school, man. There's so much information in this world that the average person couldn't even, literally would blow their minds. That's why I went to the hospital so many times, because the information that I was learning, it's a process. You know what I'm saying? It's a process. Because these bodies are machines. They are biological machines, and we are programmed a certain way. So when you introduce new information, it might be a circuit overload in your mind, in your brain, and your emotions start feeling, you're literally that's where the fear comes up, and you can't process the information because The brain is a machine. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. That's why, mental illness, a lot of mentally ill people are very, very smart. Very smart. When I was in the hospital, I met this man. They said he was a doctor. He went to this school, that school. You know what I'm saying? I told you I'm emotional, so I'm sorry. But when I met him, he was drooling on himself. He could not. I could understand him, but he couldn't talk English. And he would mumble and just drool on himself. And he was trying to communicate with people, but people couldn't understand him. But I understood because I understand the spirit. And this man had gotten so advanced in his mind that he was literally out of this world, communicating in another way that people wouldn't understand. He was communicating vibrationally, like animals. So I was able to communicate with him. And the problem with the spirit being detached to the machine, our bodies, when a person experiences so much pain, the spirit detaches from itself. I hope it makes sense. So he had experienced so much pain and so much trauma. His spirit was not in his body. The machine was operating on its own. And the spirit was trying to communicate in the only way that it knew how, which is vibration. And me having experienced certain things and recognizing that in myself at times, I was able to see it in him, and I was able to help him feel, not just him, but a lot of people in the hospital, feel more comfortable in their bodies because I was able to show them that I understood what they were going through. And I was able to help them talk again. I was able to help them eat again. And even the nurses had to comment on how well I was able to help these people because I understood them. So that is another gift that I have, is being able to understand people, because a lot of people's spirits are not human. A lot of people's spirits have had experiences outside of this world that we know, this reality, these systems and everything that this isn't the only reality that this earth has seen. Like if you go back 1,000 years, the world wasn't the same. You go back 5,000 years, the world wasn't the same. You go back 10,000 years, the world wasn't the same. So when you think about how your soul is an entity that has experienced multiple lives and multiple dimensions and multiple things, the soul is very advanced. And when the body is being limited, because you're not gonna imagine yourself being an ancient Egyptian queen or king, because you are working at Food Lion. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not gonna imagine yourself as a ruler if you're working underneath somebody in these companies. I'm gonna slow down because I might I don't want to lose nobody. But if what I'm saying makes sense to you and you want to talk about it more with me, hit me up. That's what I'm here for, to help people understand their own souls and the soul's experience. Because when we incarnate on this earth, we forget, or we're not conscious. That's the subconscious mind. But we are able to tap into that subconscious mind to help us understand ourselves. Because this life is just an extension of the last life. So if you are having certain experiences and you don't understand why you're going through something, you don't understand why you're afraid of water, you don't understand why you're afraid of heights, you don't understand how you know how to play the piano, Mozart, and you've never taken a piano lesson in your life, because your soul has experiences that you don't necessarily remember. Again, I hope I make sense. I am very, very big on reincarnation, because when I start putting my lives together and I start seeing myself, it's like, oh, I know why I'm going through this. I know why this is happening. And that's when you gotta really be honest with yourself. When you know yourself, you can't lie to yourself. So if I know that I was a traveler in my other lives, and that's why I have this deep calling to travel the earth and travel the world and find myself in this world, because I know that I was a ruler and I created things in this earth. I want to touch the walls of the buildings that I had something to do with. I can't lie to myself, and I gotta do it. So again, I hope it makes sense. And if you are watching, thank you for tuning in. Next Monday I'll be back. Oh, so the name of this live is Trust the Process, man. Trust the process. I am going through a process that a lot of people would not. How the heck did that happen? Well, I'll see y'all later.